The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin.
And I got Lou from Fairfield, Connecticut. Man, how you doing, Lou?
I'm doing good, Darrell. And I got to tell you, you're not just blowing hot air out there. I think the way you look at the market is terrific. You're a nice guy as far as over the TV. All the research you do, all the homework you do, I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your view of the market. It's awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Darrell Martin.
All righty, folks. We'll come on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, right here on TFNN. Check us out on Tiger TV at TFNN.com. And don't forget, you can listen to us on your mobile phone. And anywhere you are, in your car, or whatever, TFNN, or, TFNN.mobi. As you're rolling, you can keep up with the markets. And don't forget, if you haven't checked it out, the eSignal platform, you can get access to Tiger TV straight streaming live into eSignal now. Well, let's check out where the markets are at. We got quite a bit of just choppiness going on. We got the couple great days, and no surprise to see some chop after having that. Well, let's check out the S&P is currently up a few points. We got the Russell up 1.7. Nasdaq currently up 8, almost 9 points. We got the Dow's up 42. Copper up 0.25% on the day. We got gold is down 0.5%. And we talked a little bit about gold, and the banks now have the ability to sell off a lot of shares. They had an agreement that where they were going in and talking about that agreement's now expired, where they can sell off positions that they're holding. We got silver is currently up 0.75%. Oil is currently up 0.75%. Natural gas is down 0.25% right now. Checking out our ag markets, we got corn currently down almost 1% on the day. Soybeans down over 1%. Some nice move in the ags. And diving on deep down into our FX markets, we got the pound dollar is currently sitting down 63 pips. So FX markets going crazy with all this PIMCO stuff and the gold stuff and everything else. We got euro dollars down 59, euro pounds currently down 10. We got an Aussie dollar down 21, and it's just been flying down. Dollar franc is currently up 47 pips. Dollar yen is up 66. Aussie yen up 28. And then hopping on over to the bond markets right now, they are down just a little bit on the day. All right, well, that gives you your lunchtime market wrap. And let's check out what else we got going on. We need to dive into our news. Make sure you're ready for that. We already went over a couple of the trades, but to go over a bit more for you of what's coming up next week, let's go ahead and get started on that. We already talked about today. We talked about Monday and Tuesday. Let's go ahead and dive on in. I guess I could just do a quick review for you on these. Let's see here. First, we got a straddle. I want to make sure you have that one. That's going to be, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm on the wrong Monday. There we go. Existing home sales. So we got 9 to 11 o'clock, and we're looking at entering at 8 a.m. I'm sorry, 9 a.m. because it comes out at 10 a.m. So we're at 9 a.m. for an 11 a.m. expiration. We're looking for a $30 minimum profit if a trade is available. If nothing else, just know that we don't really expect more than a 30-pip move between 9 and 11 on the euro dollar. So that can help you on really any system or strategy you're using on the euro dollar. Draghi is also going to be having a little speech there at 9 o'clock, so be aware that can have an impact on the euro. Dudley's going to be talking at 10:05 on Monday, so that can affect the euro and everything else. And let me, I don't know why I just have euro on there, but let me edit that real quick on my list while I got you, because I got to keep these things up to date constantly. So, all right. And let's see here. We got a HSBC manufacturing. That will impact the Aussie and the yen coming out at 9:45. So definitely be aware of that for you nighttime traders over on the Forex markets. Rolling on into Tuesday morning, we're going to have a slew of euro reports coming out. None that are really tradable, but ones that definitely can impact the euro. 3 to 4 a.m. So just be aware of that. So, let's see here. And then we got, obviously spike strikers are always trades to check out for when those trades roll around. Also, we got the Italian bond auction. Hasn't really had much of an impact lately, but if there ever is a surprise, it can catch you off guard. That's coming out at 5:20. Rolling on in a little bit earlier into the morning, we'll be going into 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I guess a little later in the morning. 8 to 10 a.m., we got the CAD Core retail sales coming out, so that's going to be released right at 8:30 there. We're going to look for an Iron Condor on that one. Usually not a big mover, about 20 pips. And so look for a 20-pip minimum take profit between 8 and 10 o'clock on the dollar CAD. Diving on in, we have some, our constant crop reports. New Zealand trade balance reports coming out at 6:45. Can have a small, very short, maybe 15 minutes at most, impact on the Aussie and the yen. Diving into the evening, we got a German IFO business survey news being released at 4 o'clock, and we're going to look to find an Iron Condor on the euro dollar for this. We're going to enter as early as 11 o'clock. Obviously, the earlier it is, the easier it is to find the, the premium that you're looking for. And looking for a 7 a.m. expiration. Minimum profit on that trade, we're looking for $30. That right there wraps up your major news for next Tuesday. And again, I'm going through all these. I hope you're writing them down, or you can go back and watch the archive, because this is helpful, like whether or not you're trading the news to do Iron Condors, or whether you're just trading period at night, in the morning, whatever, trading on FX markets. It gives you that heads up. And, you also need to, of course, be aware of, potential impact on indices when some of these come out. Let's see. We got, I think I have Italian 10-year bond auction listed twice. Let me get the right one on there. And is that Tuesday or Wednesday? Let's see. Let's roll on in through Forex Factor. We'll bring that up. And let's see. Okay, so the Italian one. Okay, that one's going to be, okay, there is one on Tuesday. Is there another one on Wednesday? Nope, not Wednesday. So Tuesday, not Wednesday. And just wanted to make sure I got that one cleared up. Well, why do we have two? Okay, and the other thing we'll be diving into is U.S. new home sales. That's going to be coming out on the 24th. And look at, 9 a.m. entry for an 11 a.m. expiration for a $30 minimum profit on an Iron Condor. Iron Condor is going to where we're buying the lower spreads, selling the upper spreads. Okay, again, buying the lower spreads, selling the upper spreads. And the combined max profit is what you're looking at. And, it's pretty easy to do if you're using the scanner. It can be pretty challenging to do if you're just trying to use the Nadex platform. So I highly encourage you to hop on over to TFNN.com and type that in, and I'll show you where to get access to it. Hopefully you registered for the competition in time. If not, no worries. Just go get yourself a demo and still, learn how to trade this. But, especially for those of you on this, trying to take advantage of every trade you can, hop on over, click on the Nadex banner. That's where you get a demo account. Now, for the trading competition, if you registered, you'll be sent a unique demo just for the trading competition. Trades have to be placed in that for them to count. Okay? So, let's see, going on in, and so fill that out, and then, of course, to get the scanner, check it out for free right here, right on the TFNN homepage. Now, once you log into that scanner, what are you going to see? Let's look at it. We got the spread scanner right here. We have all our tutorials walking you through, getting you up and running. Got a help desk for any questions that you may have. Okay, where you can ask me questions directly. But you go down, and let's say that you're looking at the S&P, and you go in, and I basically put 1, and what I do is I look for a straddle and I turn it into a condor. Okay, so you can call it a short straddle, whatever you want. And I go in and I look for ones that have a decent profit on there. So I might choose this one. Let's see if that's close to where the market is. That's right where the market is. So now let's find one below it that lines up. Okay, so that is the potential trade. And then I'll just go up here. I'll reset my filters. I still have my 2 trades highlighted, but now I want to reverse them. So I want to get the 35 to 65. I want to highlight that. Okay? And then I want to get the 65 to 95 to buy. I want to highlight the sell. So we'll go down here. We'll find 65 to 95 right there. And now it's inverted. Doesn't look real pretty, but here's the reality. You got 5 points to break even for the next few hours. So it can move up or down 5 points, a 10-point range where you can be profitable on the trade. And the numbers you're looking at is that max profit. So when I say a max profit of $30, I'm saying combine that $18, that $22, that's $40. That obviously qualifies for a $30 max profit or minimum profit. So $30 minimum profit. So it's the max profit on the contract, but we're looking for a combined max profit to be greater than the minimum profit requirement. So if I say minimum $30, you add it together, it's $40. That qualifies. And now you got your neutral iron condor strategy, where basically you're saying it's going to expire, less than, basically between 1970 and 1960. And you're only losing a, dollar tick outside of that. So, it's not like it's an all or nothing like a binary. So it's a very cool way to hop in and play some trades. And you can do these really anytime, day or night. I know traders putting them on at nighttime. I know traders putting them on first thing in the morning. And they're just looking at, implied deviation moves. They're looking at standard deviation moves. They're looking at average ranges, close to closes, things like that. And just trying to get an idea of what that expected range is and whether the implied volatility justifies putting on a neutral trade or not. Same thing you do if you're doing a short straddle or, a butterfly or whatever else. Okay, well, that gets us caught up there. Let's hop on back over to our news trading plan, and let's dive on in to Wednesday. We already talked about new home sales, going into weekly oil inventory. And so we'll go into the exact range for you. Usually it's somewhere around 60 pips is the usual move on oil after the oil inventory report is released. And we definitely look for spike strikers on that. In the evening, if you're an Aussie dollar trader, you're going to be wanting to look at, RBA Governor Stevens is going to be talking. That can definitely impact the Aussie. And so be aware of that. Also can have a medium impact on the yen as well. Diving on into Thursday, just getting you the entire news plan rolled up and ready for you so we can focus a little bit more on other things. But on the news plan for Thursday, we got core durable good and durable good orders coming on out of the U.S. We're going to look at the euro dollar to trade and take advantage of that. We're going to do an iron condor on Nadex, buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread like I just talked about. And entering at 8 for a 10 a.m. expiration with a minimum profit of $25 of the two max profits. When combined, that minimum combination, we want $25. Sometimes you can leg into them if you need to as well. A couple other things to be aware of. We're going to have unemployment claims coming on out at 8:30, so definitely volume spike, reversal trades on that. And we're going to have the natural gas inventory report come on out, so you can look at that as well to see, volume spikes, and we'll go into the ranges for you next week when that pops on up. On Thursday, we're going to have the Yen Tokyo Core CPI, National CPI coming out at 7:30. And let's go ahead and make sure that you have that on your list, because that could definitely have an impact. It's just not one that's consistent enough for us to make a trade out of yet. And let's see here if I go into some of the other trades that we got going on. So that really wrapped up our week. And we got to get ready for next week. So how are we going to get ready for next week? Those are all the trades that we did this week. Go back and look at those trades, okay? Check them out and learn from them so you can get ready for next week. When we come back, I'm going to dive into the upcoming trading contest week news trades, which we have a lot of. We got some really, really good news coming out next week. We're going to dive into that for you. So get ready to take some notes so you know what to be ready for. Stay right there. We'll be back right after this break.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details, and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Alrighty, folks. So hopefully you were paying attention to that quick, fast market review of last week. And I hope you did catch the trades throughout the week that we did. And if not, you can use that section right there to go back and look at those trades, see how they did, start putting the pieces together. The next thing I want to cover with you is I want you to be really ready for this trading competition that's coming up. And we got lots and lots and lots of news, okay? The first thing I'm going to go over with you are the trading plans. And then I'll go back through and we'll focus on the be aware events to have on your calendar, okay? So the trading plans, we're going to open up with U.S. pending home sales. That's going to be our first trade plan. That's going to come out at 10 a.m. That's a 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. contract we're looking. We're going to enter at 9 for an 11 a.m. expiration on the euro dollar with a $25 minimum profit on there. Kind of we're buying the lower spread, selling the upper spread. Look at that max profit. Make sure it's greater than, when you put the two together, than the minimum profit. Hopping on over to the evening, we're going to have a lot of pound announcements coming out at 4:30. We're going to have their current account, their final GDP, preliminary business investment, index of services, revised business sentiment, all that. So lots of stuff coming out. However, being final GDP and these other announcements are not that big. We usually get some decent premium, so be surprised if you could at least get 30, if not more, on the trade. But we're looking to enter at 11 o'clock for a 7 a.m. expiration, and really not expecting more than about 30 pips of oscillation during that time. So, anyways, that's the trade set up on the pound dollar. Now, the euro's going to have a slew of reports coming on out. They're going to have their CPI, core CPI unemployment rate, Italian preliminary, German bond, all that coming out at 5 a.m. Again, these are all minor impact reports. Sometimes you see something like, unemployment rate, you think that's big, but it's the European one. We already have the stats from all the other countries when that comes out, so that's why it's not a surprise. Looking very similar, entering at 11 o'clock for a 7 a.m. expiration, and for all the announcements comes out at 5, we're looking to have a minimum profit between the two spreads, max profit combination of $30. That's going to cover your Monday news trades, where we actually have statistical analysis that we can put together. Now, if we roll on over, that's the 29th. If we roll on over to the 30th, then we're going to have various reports coming out on the CAD. We're going to have their GDP, we're going to have their RMPI, their IPPI, and really not a massive mover. So scrolling through it, looking for a profit of merely $20 on a 7 to 9 a.m. So definitely check that out. I mean, you may be able to get $30, $40 on this with the GDP coming out. But that's the main trade we're going to be looking for right there in the morning. In the evening, we got another trade for you, and it's going to be on the Aussie this time. Aussie retail sales is coming out at 9:30 on the 30th, and we're looking for an entry at 9 for an 11 o'clock expiration. It's usually a small mover, minimum profit of $20. Note, I will review some of these next week, and we'll look at them, just double check them again. But this is the news plan that we have set right now, and I'll double check just to make sure everything lines up how we want it. And the goal here is to win at least 10 out of the 12 trades and try to keep the losses to about a 1-to-1 whenever it does move more than normal. Let's see here. That's over the course of a year, and most of them. Some of them are every week, but most of the announcements are like once a month or once a quarter. Going on into the ADP NFP. This is not the big NFP. This is the ADP NFP. Okay? On the ADP NFP report, we're going to be looking at an iron condor on the euro dollar. It's usually a non-event, unless there's some big surprise, but we haven't had any big surprises lately. Looking at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with a minimum profit of $30, meaning about a 30-pip move at most is what we expect on the euro dollar, probably less than that. Diving on into the ISM manufacturing, going to be coming out a little bit later than that at 10 a.m. We'll be hopping in. Again, this is right here on the 1st. We'll be entering at 9 o'clock for an 11 a.m. expiration, and we'll be using the euro dollar again. That's a $25 minimum profit between the two spreads on an iron condor. At the same time, let's see here. I think that's needs to be 9 p.m. Let me double check that. Let's see. Go over here. We'll just pull it back up. And that's why I go through these in detail, and I do it a couple times to make sure they're right before we get to them. But let me hop on over to Wednesday. And let's see, that night we're going to have, that's going to be 9:30 p.m. When that release comes out. So we're going to have 9 p.m. to 10, or 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And let's see here. We'll be looking for a profit of $35. So it does move a little bit more, okay, on the building approvals and trade balance. 9 to 11, $35 minimum profit, entering at 9 for the 11 p.m. expiration. All right, so I'll update that one, and then when you get back, we'll also talk about that pound construction PMI. Stay right there. We'll be back right after this.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization deviation capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at Nadex.com. That's Nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, looking at the pound construction PMI. We're going over the news trades for next week. Whether you're trading FX, whether you're trading futures Forex, whether you're trading Nadex, whether you're in the trading contest or not, all important information. Pound construction PMI comes out at 430. Usually doesn't have more than about a 30-pip move between 430 and 11 on that. So we're looking for an entry at 11 p.m. for a 7 a.m. expiration. So between 430 and 7, usually a pretty small move, and I work for $30 minimum take profit on an iron condor on Nadex. That wraps up October 1st, already October. Rolling on into October 2nd, getting you the entire plan for the week. And we got the euro minimum bid rate. What is the bid rate? That's their Fed funds rate. That's their interest rate on the euro. Had a big shock last time when they changed that, but obviously not looking for any kind of change on this go-around. Ought to have some decent implied volatility. This trade usually works out beautifully. And we're looking for an entry at 7 a.m. for a 9 a.m. expiration with a minimum profit of $30. I think 11 out of the last 12 have been profitable on this. So let's get into 7 for the 9 a.m. Now, the press conference is a different story. That's where we're looking for some straddles, some good moves on this. And what we'll be doing is the press conference comes out at 8:30. It comes out in 2 parts. And so we're actually going to look for a longer expiration. And let me see here. I know I have some information on some of the past ones, so I'll combine it into this one. Basically, we're looking for a straddle of about $45 if we can pull it off. And the issue, again, is now it comes out in 2 parts. I think it's even on Forex Factory. We'll even pull that up. I know I have it on some of my previous ones, too. We'll add that back in. But over here, the press conference, and scheduled in 2 parts. The first one's about an hour long. And that's a prepared statement that's read. So obviously 8:30 to 9:30 we're going to have some impact, and then you got the Q&A session. You can try at 10 o'clock. Okay, you can try at 10 o'clock straddle if the 3 p.m. is just way too expensive. But usually we get it'll just keep going and going and going based off whatever is said. That's why I like giving it more time. I really prefer the 3 o'clock on this trade, and because it starts at 8:30. By 9:30, the red statement's done, and then the second part comes in. Maybe it comes in a little bit earlier than 9:30, but you'll see the market usually just keep going on whatever the final consensus it made from the open Q&A part. So like I said, that's why I prefer 3. You could try 10 o'clock, but I prefer 3 o'clock on that. And it's just important to understand the 2 parts, and that's why we choose the later expiration on this one. So I'll make a note of that there. Let's see here. And what else we got on this? Looks like so that's huge. That's a massive move. I forgot to give you on the first. We do have the weekly oil inventory claims that comes up every week. So of course, make sure you are looking at that. Again, around a 60 pip average move, either up or down or high to low. And usually looking for volume spikes on that. Same thing on unemployment claims coming out Thursday at 8:30, and natural gas coming out at 10:30. Rolling on over to our Euro retail sales report. That'll be coming out and on Friday morning, but we got to get out on Thursday night at 11 p.m. for a 7 a.m. expiration. Looking for about a $25 minimum profit on that trade, and I'd be able to hop in the trade and, again, buy the lower spread, selling the upper spread. That wraps up October 2nd for you. Hopping on into October 3rd. We got a few more trades. So, it's just a busy news week. We're going to have the CAD trade balance report coming on out at 8:30. We're looking to find an iron condor on the dollar CAD, and entering an 8 for a 10 a.m. expiration for a minimum profit of $30. Okay? So very simple, very easy trade. And then we got a slew of various U.S. reports coming out. We got our non-farm employment change. This is a big trade. Okay? And we got trade balance, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings. I think we actually want to go a little bit larger than that, so let me pull that one back up in a second. And then we got U.S. ISM non-manufacturing. Let me grab this, hop on over. So ISM manufacturing. I'll pull that one back up. ISM non-manufacturing PMI. That's 9 to 11 for a 10 a.m. announcement. And so you can go in, hop in on that trade. Looking for a $25 minimum profit on it. Be careful on that one. Add a note to be careful on that one. So because, if the NFP is huge, then you want to, you back off on that a little bit. Okay, let me see here. We got that one. We got this one. All right, I want to pull back up. Let me grab some of my other information on the NFP because I want to get you a couple other things on this. So let me roll on over here. Pull up the NFP. I know we have some other data I want to include for you. Okay, so let me back on up here to the 5th. Okay, so we got a list of them, and this is really what we're going to be looking at. So I don't know how I typed that in there. All right, so the iron condors, what's going to happen on the NFP unemployment rate, and we're going to get usually a lot of implied volatility. Now, it may be low. If it's low, then you always could check out some straddles. Okay? And what I do here is I'm giving you the list of the ranges. So that way you can have an idea if a straddle might be a good idea. Okay? Most of the movement that's going to happen is going to happen in the first 15 minutes when NFP and employment come out. Okay? And then it usually just sort of flattens out for the rest of the day, pulls back right to the center. Okay? And the spreads are going to be a little bit wider because it's a high volatility announcement. And, and then you have the actual floor to ceiling spread that'll be wider because you're using that 3 p.m. expiration. Okay? And just looking at it, I mean, our average range on the Aussie dollar is 60 pips. On euro dollar, it's 100. On pound dollar, it's 100. On dollar CAD, it's 75. On dollar franc, we got 92. On dollar yen, it's 80. So big ranges right there. And I'll read those off for you one more time just in case you're listening on TFNN.mobi. But remember, you can always check out our archives over on Tiger TV. But the Aussie dollar, 60 pips. Euro dollar, 100 pips. Pound dollar, 100 pips. Dollar CAD, 75 pips. Dollar franc, 92. And dollar yen is 80. That's the average range, high to low, after the NFP. Now, that's high to low. What happens is it blows out, it comes back, is what I've seen, consistently over the last, 12 months, or really more as long as I've been doing the show. So ideally, we're looking to get at least $50 profit on the Aussie dollar, really 60 on the euro, 70 on the pound, because it doesn't come back as much sometimes. Dollar CAD, we're also looking at 60 pips. Dollar franc, we're looking at 60 pips. USD, we're looking at 60 pips. So to summarize that for you, euro dollar, dollar CAD, dollar franc, dollar yen, 60 pips. Aussie dollar, 50 pips, and pound dollar, the big one, 70 pips minimum profit on an iron condor. And that's hopping in, for the NFP for a 7 a.m. entry for a 3 o'clock expiration. Now, if you can find some cheap straddles with those ranges, maybe you even find them as late as 8 o'clock, okay? You could look at the 9 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, because again, think about it. Most of the movement happens in the first 15 minutes. So you just really have to look at the expectations on it and look at the pricing. And, just how is the market makers, the other traders, how are they impacting the price of that binary with the implied volatility? So these ranges would be minimum profit pips. So you can pull off a straddle taking a profit for a 1-to-1 based on what the straddle cost, then that's awesome. Deviations, I cannot stress the importance of deviations on these moves or any others. Go in and look at the deviations. Make sure, if you got a take profit at a 1-to-1 that's 5 pips above a deviation, I'd rather take it a few pips below, give up some of my ticks. So maybe I have a $40 risk on the trade. I want to make $40, but maybe that $40 is going to put me on top of a little bit above a deviation. I'd rather, I'll go ahead and make 30, 35 on this trade just so I can have a much safer take profit. I want to get in front of the line, not behind the line, okay? So just like, when you're a kid and you're waiting to get to the water fountain, right? You want to be in front of the line, not in the back of the line. So same thing. Don't be behind that deviation line. Be in front of it when you're taking those profits. Be behind it when you're selecting a strike. You're trying to look at your break-even. You want to be behind it because you want to be, you want it to take longer, make it harder for you to get, stopped out. But when you're taking a profit, you want to make it easier to take that profit where it's not so much work. We've all been there where the market's just pushing, like 2-3 ticks away from our take profit and then falls back. That's because we were at the back of the line. Also, advanced straddles. This is more advanced for those who have really been following along. And on the advanced straddles, you're going to look at synthetic hedges, okay, or synthetic straddle, really. And what this is, we're going to trade the Euro CAD and the Pound CAD. These pairs move massively, okay, 100 to 150 pips, okay. And let's see here on those. So I got the same information typed twice. So how do you do these? What you do is you're going to buy a euro dollar and you're going to buy a dollar CAD upper spread. You're going to sell a euro dollar and sell a dollar CAD lower spread. Okay? You're then going to watch the euro CAD FX pair on your chart. So even though Nadex doesn't have euro CAD, as a natural, you can make a synthetic by combining. And so that gives you a lot of different FX combinations. A lot of traders don't think about this, and they come in, they're like, oh, they have 10 FX pairs, or oh, they only have 10 FX pairs. Well, here are all the combinations, and we have deviations on all of the combinations that you can synthetically make on Nadex. Not only do you have Aussie dollar, euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, dollar franc, dollar CAD, they also have euro yen, pound yen, and euro pound. But you can also go in and by making these synthetics, you got Aussie CAD, Aussie Franc. They have Aussie Yen already, so you can use their natural there. They got CAD Franc, CAD Yen, Franc Yen, Euro Dollar, Euro CAD, or Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, Euro Franc, Euro Pound, which they have naturally. Euro Yen they have naturally. You can synthetically also make Pound Aussie, Pound CAD, and Pound Franc, and they have Pound Yen naturally. So it's pretty cool. You can actually trade a lot more FX pairs that are on Nadex just by combining. I wouldn't really do this on the binaries. That's a whole, that's a 2-day training course to teach you how to do that. But on the FX pairs, it's really simple. Okay, and it's not as simple as just buying, but you're buying two things. So you're buying, like I said, a Euro Dollar, a Pound, a Euro Dollar, and a Dollar CAD. What you do is you just multiply Euro Dollar times Dollar CAD equals Euro CAD. Okay, that's literally. So when you're buying it, you know where you're buying at. And what you do is you look, and when it gets up to that price, you'll see the P&L anyway, but you'll see the price, see the deviation. Remember, you get the deviation levels posted right there inside the scanner, and those are the big, big, big movers, okay? So usually, again, the biggest time, 90% of the time, the biggest move happens in the first 15 minutes, and these I'm more interested in straddling than anything. You can use 9, 10, or 3 o'clock because, again, the big move happens right there. So you can enter as anywhere between 7 and 8:15 on these trades. Obviously, if you're going to use 10 o'clock, you'd have to enter at between 8 and 8:15. Often after 11 to 3, the market will go pretty flat, especially being a Friday. So that's where you can look at doing iron butterflies or potentially iron condors. But usually all the IV will be sucked out, and that's where you can check that out. So, and let's see here. Let's remove that. I think that was a unique note from a what? Remove that line on NFP. Okay. But anyway, so that is trading the big NFP report. It's cool because you can straddle it on a variety of instruments. You're talking like about 20-something combinations. You can do iron condors as well. And what I like to do, so what's my plan? I'll go in and I'll find every iron condor I can put my hands on, okay? And I'll also try to find any straddles. So I may put on like 15 positions. And, my first straddles I like the most are, the dollar, the Euro CAD and the Pound CAD because they move the most. So those are usually my favorite ones to try to pull off whenever the report comes out. Let's see here. That really wraps up all of your specific tradable news events for the week of the Nadex trading competition. So what things do you need to be aware of? Biggest item on the list I see, China has a bank holiday Tuesday and Wednesday, okay? So again, Tuesday and Wednesday, got China bank holiday happening all the day long. That can definitely impact your Aussie and Yen pairs, okay? So just be aware of that. But here's the list of your be aware events. We got a lot of news that's taking up a good chunk of the show, but I just want to make sure you have it. And I'm going to go through these pretty fast. So you can get these on Forex Factory as well, but be aware of German preliminary CPI happening that's going to be rolled out. We got the pound net lending coming out at 4:30 a.m. This is all on the 29th. Let's see here. We have New Zealand dollar. We'll be releasing building consensus at 5:45. That can impact the Aussie and the Yen. Yen will have various reports coming out at 7:30, so definitely be aware of that if you're trading on Monday night. Going on into, New Zealand's going to have business confidence, so that can also impact the Aussie Yen. You're going to have Yen average cash at 9:30, and you'll have China HSBC. Before they go into their holiday, you'll be having that come on out at 9:45. So lots of little news, which will help us drive volatility next week, which will be good. Rolling on into the 30th, we got the pound nationwide HPI. We have Euro French consumer spending. Going in, we got the Frank KOF economic barometer at 3 a.m. We'll be looking at German unemployment change at 3:55. Definitely can impact the euro. Going on into, we'll have the Chicago PMI right here. Not only the euro dollar, but all markets can be impacted by that. So, all right, we'll stay right there. We'll be back. We'll wrap it up. And one big news hour, but you'll have the week done in one show. So that's my goal today. All right, we'll be back right after this break.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, folks, welcome back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. So we got consumer confidence coming on out. Like I said, we're going to roll through each and every one of these for you. We're going to have German retail sales also being released at 2 a.m. on the 30th there. And we're going into the yen Tonkin coming out at 7.50 to 8.50, somewhere between that time, but probably around 7.50 having the release on that. And China manufacturing PMI affected the Aussie and the yen on Tuesday night. We're rolling into the Euro Spanish manufacturing, and there's just a lot of news this coming week. 3:15, so perfect week for the the Nadex trading competition. We got the pound manufacturing PMI coming out at 430. We have the U.S. Manufacturing PMI coming out at 945, and we got the New Zealand GDT price index coming out at 10 a.m. We'll get on over at Thursday. We're going to have the Euro-Dollar Spanish unemployment change at 3 o'clock. We're going to go on into the U.S. factory orders as well for 10 a.m., and we're going to have the China non-manufacturing PMI at 9 o'clock. Germany is going to have a bank holiday on Friday, so be very aware. Definitely can impact the euro. But euro is going to have Spanish services PMI coming out at 315. They'll have the Italian services coming out at 315 as well. And looks like pound services PMI coming out at 430. Hopping on into U.S. final services PMI at 945. And we'll end up with our regular ag reports to come out each and every week. All right, so just like I said, a lot of news. I know that was a whole lot of news in one show, and you might have to watch it a couple times to get it all. But I wanted to get that out of the way so we can focus on a lot more fun stuff. And we talked about the VIX some lately, and let me see if I can bring that up, maybe cover a couple things before the show is over. But I'm scrolling on into it. VIX is climbing. Just to let you know, if you don't know, we had a massive upturn on the VIX. Calmed down a little bit today. Not a big surprise with the flatter markets. But as the volatility rises, that's implied volatility. It's actually the implied volatility measurement of the S&P 500 index, the SPX, not the futures, not the ETFs, the index. And you can't trade the index, but you can trade options on the index. They're very heavily traded on SPX. And they basically take the front and back month. It's an average 30-day volatility. Take the front and back month IV of the at-the-money call and puts. And as that IV rises, premium rises. I hope it continues to rise, because the higher that thing gets, the more IV we're going to have pumped into these things, and a lot more trades become available. I like higher IV. We get volatility with it. We get better premium with it. And if it's low, I've learned how to trade that. It took a little work because I was so used to high IV for so long there. Had to get back in the low IV mindset. But with low IV, you got things like straddles, you got things like strangles, you got things directional out of the money trades that can be really cheap and really close. So there's a lot of cool opportunities. You just be aware of your implied volatility. If it's close and cheap, IV's probably low. If it's expensive and far away, IV's probably high. So that lets you know how to adjust your strategy accordingly. Anyways, so I hope you signed up for the Trade-a-thon. I hope you got Tommy's show last night and reviewed the page, the rules, the prizes. Be in there Sunday night. Start off with a bang on the Forex markets. Make the most of the Trade-a-thon stuff. We covered. And choose your system. Don't trade too many systems or charts so you don't get too confused. And take advantage of that nighttime trading. You're going to have a lot of different things. Choppy days. You can do ranges and butterflies and condors. We had some choppiness today. So, take advantage of that choppiness when that happens. Some people sort of just get frozen whenever, choppiness happens. And it's like, well, you got to be able to adapt to different market conditions. And that's one thing I love about options, that you got options. And so you can go, and it's sort of obvious. It seems like it goes without saying, but reality, you have options. And, they're staying inside the ranges. And, we exceeded expected ranges a little bit, but overall, just barely exceeding, and then, hit and miss throughout the rest of the day. So, wish we had time for more, but we got to wrap it up. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday. Stay tuned for another great show coming up right after this.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
You're watching Tiger TV.